Hello my friends and welcome back. In this video I will discuss the almost a certainty of organizing some referenda in the occupied territories of Ukraine by the Russian Federation. These referenda will most likely be about those occupied territories or newly freed territories, depends how you want to look at it. Those territories, uh, independence, and probably their membership to the Russian Federation, or better put, just unification, if you want to call it that way, to the Russian Federation to Russia. That would be the will of the people, which we here in the Western countries, we are 100% for it. You know, we like democracy so much, and we like the vote, and we like people to give their opinions, and the will of the majority should rule. So if those people in those regions will vote democratically, I don't see why necessarily it'd be a big problem. I'm just, pulling your leg because it's a big problem. So one of these individuals who really does not like democracy when democracy works against his wishes is the president of Ukraine, Mr. Zelensky. So I have an article from the Business Insider by Cheryl Pech from April 26, 2022, with this title: Zelensky says Russia-Ukraine peace talks will end if Moscow holds pseudo-referenda in occupied areas or move to grab more Ukrainian territories. Any attempts by Russia to form new pseudo-people's republics in Ukraine would also be a deal breaker, he said. Kiev has accused Moscow of planning such referendums in order to legitimize Russia's invasion. He says, if our people in Mariupol are killed, if there will be pseudo-referendums and the establishment of new pseudo-people's republics, Ukraine will not continue negotiating. But our citizens located on the temporarily occupied territories of Kherson region and many other settlements in the Zaporozhye region in the east of Ukraine, they have to know, and they should not assist the occupying forces. He continues that this would definitely be the wrong step made by Russia. This would mean that all those meetings of the diplomatic teams were fiction, and that this is just theater with very bad actors. You're a good one. I don't think so, but anyway, I'm not going to read what he says here because he just has his version of what happened and what's happening there, so it's useless. It's useless because it's not what the article is talking about. The article is talking about this guy's opposition, obvious opposition to recognize any referendum that would occur there, and in the territory currently occupied by Russia or freed by Russia. And he says the peace talks will cease. I was unaware that there were some peace talks on the roll as we speak, and if there were, they were meaningless. Now, as he said, that's going to be a deal breaker. Well, Mr. Zelensky, I have to remind you that those were some of the foundation of the requirements that the Russians are aiming at. That means that their goal that they stated when they invaded that country. So I don't know what you're talking about. You just woke up now after 2 months and you say we will disagree if they will do that. I don't know what you're talking about. The Russians claim that for a long time that those regions will have the rights of self-determination and they will have a vote. They will have a referendum. They will decide, and the will of the people must be respected. Remember? Go back to school. Oh, not that school, the other one? Okay. And nevertheless, um, I don't know if, obviously, this is the Russians said they will do this, so I'm expecting them to do this. So there's no surprise here. Now, for Zelensky to reiterate, or first time I heard him saying that, probably he said it before, but saying that the peace talks would be, no peace talks will be stopped, like it's a process right now. What process? From what I read, the Russians submitted some negotiating requirements or whatever offer about 10 years ago. Yeah, if we talk about the Minsk agreement, yes. No, about 10 days ago. And this guy said, we didn't receive anything. Well, maybe the Russians bypassed you and sent it right to the ones who really are in charge. That means Washington. And that's why you didn't receive that. That's a possibility, a big one. The Russians said, you know what, I'm going to send it straight to the deal makers, not with this clown here. His circus is closed for the summer. No, man. And people are dying, you know. It's sad. It's that people are dying, and we're going to go through rough times because of those guys over there. Anyway, not the Saints, right? This is not the Saints somewhere over there. It's, or, no, or the Angels. No. Deal breaker. Yes, I bet it should be a deal breaker. I bet it would be. But I don't think, as I said, Russia said the 4 points. One of them was this: autonomy in those regions, and whatever they decide, that's exactly here. All right. The other one, Crimea, recognition of Crimea and those territories, right? And then it was denazification and demilitarization and no NATO expansion. Very clear. Very clear. I don't know what's not clear for this clown. Anyway, maybe because he's a clown. I don't know. Just kidding. Not. Nevertheless, I wish the war ends 2 months ago, but unfortunately, it's not going to end well for either party. That's my assessment. Well, maybe it will, but the percentage is going to go lower and lower. That it will be good for anyone. Well, we'll find out. But if we don't find out, that means it happens too quick for us to acknowledge it. If you know what I mean. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Stay out. Ciao.